Hey everyone, it's July 26th. The month is just about done with. Time to do closeouts, paperwork, taxes, everything else. And of course, tons of blocking went on. A little bit of a delay in video uploads because, well, it's the same old thing. How many people are going to watch someone blocking a car for like the 10th time in a row and then putting primer on? Not many people. So let me just give you a quick rundown, and then we're going to go back in time a little bit, the previous couple weeks of us building the car in the paint booth. I'm standing in the door opening for the booth. I got a good breeze going. And that fan is rocking. We put a new belt in. We finally got another new belt on it, which would be number 4. Long day. Roof is blocked and 2K'd. And I had to take more dingies and dents and whoop-de-doos out when I blocked it. So I had to put a skim coat across the back, block it down flat. And then we epoxy primed it, and then we 2K'd it. And I had to put a little OSPO back down in the corners in here. Because we couldn't get it all on the first go around, so I got it today and took the time. After that cures out, I'm going to DA the channel out, and then I'm going to epoxy the hell out of this thing, and then I'm going to go right to 2K and start loading the back of this and then blocking out. But we're pretty much ready for tomorrow, blocking this and getting it flat, but not too shabby. And that's what it looks like. And today has been a long day. It's 7:30 already. How about that? Captain's log. Start date 7/11/19. We have just referenced both quarter panels and the roof. As you can see, all the areas of green are your high spots. The areas that are whiter are the low spots. So we are so close on this car. Reference the roof. Put an easy 2 hours blocking this puppy in. Made myself a little sit down place so I can get the back center. It's a lot of real estate up there. So next up is spot in epoxy. High build the areas out. I don't need full quarter panel high build anymore. We're pretty much done with that. And then I'm going to level that sucker out there. Put a little bit more 2K in the pockets and block her out again and see if I can get her totally gone. She's real close up top. So that's the updates on Dan's car. We're tickled pink. But the only bad thing is we pounded the hours into this thing. It just takes this long to get this far. But this is what you call building up to your high points. So it takes time to do this, but what's nice is you only have the material that you need where you need it.
We're taking and covering up the motor compartment and the front clip and the roof on this bad boy so that we don't get anything on it.
Lee here is getting us all set up so we don't touch any of the finished areas. It's quarantining everything. I guess you're going to be skirting the bottom of the car next, Lee?
Yep, going to be skirting the bottom, going to cover the roof, make sure nothing gets on the inside of the car. We don't want to do things twice.
Oh no. Not at this point.
We have 0 fail so far on screwing up anything that we've already done. So
yeah, I like to keep that record that.
No doubt.
Yeah, I like quarantining my stuff.
Seems backwards to some people, but we do things differently here.
Yeah. Would that be paper or plastic, sir?
Well, we're going to plastic the roof, sir, but the bottom we're going to tape or we're going to paper and tape, and any areas that we're going to be hitting or working next to, we're going to throw some paper on there to make the plastic last a little longer. That way, I don't have to redo things.
Yes. Looking good.
Yeah, we do what we can.
Yeah. Yes, the deck lid. The deck lid we body worked. Lee, when did we finish body working the deck lid?
I have no idea.
I think it was about a month and a half, 2 months ago we finished the deck lid. And it's got a beautiful profile in it. It fits the car really nice, so I don't need to do any profile in there. All we're going to do is just final out the top, the deck area, and Lee's going to make sure nothing happens to the roof on this. And that's how you do it. This is Doyce's frame from TCI. Do a quick walk around with this one. Yep. Okay, we're unboxing this right now, meaning took all the bracing off, the straps are off and everything, and I put all the boxes, everything is sorted out. Everything has been gotten for, so we don't need anything from TCI. All the parts are accounted for. We're good. Here's the rear axle. Something interesting to note on this rear axle, I didn't see on the last build, was this little shipping ID. And it said there's no sealant on the third member gasket, so that's interesting. Let's think about that. We'll call their tech line and see what they want me to do. I'll just get advice. Because the other one we put together and we put gear oil in it and it was no issues. So there she is. That's the update on Doyce's. We're going to be taking this off the car trailer. We're going to be putting it on a dolly, getting the wood cart crate out from underneath this. Same thing here, getting this on a cart. So when we're ready to paint it, we're ready to paint it. That's the updates on Doyce's. That's our quarter panel right now. And it looks straight in the camera, but it's not 100% yet. These areas suck. Let me put my finger on the deal here. The back of the deck lid is good. The deck panel is good across. It's acceptable across there. That area sucks. That's not too bad there. It goes in there, but that's because the deck lid is an aftermarket. I'm going to rack it out. The bottom, bear with me everybody, phone is being a dick. And then the bottom one down here is good. Corner's good. Just got to build up and get the 10 of the toe flat across. None of these stay flat without loading them. I don't care what car it is and how pretty it is, it's loaded. Corner inside the fins, the repair area came out really nice. And this is the quarter panel that had the whoop-dee in it. It's still a little bit there, I can see it, but other than that, it's light years ahead of what it was. And that's a pretty panel. This car's gonna look pretty dang sexy when I throw paint down. But it's all in the prep, and that's where I'm at. Next up, I'm gonna block my ass off on this car. I'm gonna be spending about 2 hours on the roof and 2 hours per quarter panel. That's the average of blocking a car and taking your time and not pushing the block. You're just going to glide the block, and you got to take your time, and that's how you level them out real quick. I'm going to start off with a 180 and go from there. All right, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The earlier portion that you saw of me talking about blocking this car, well, we did. I got it blocked, and I started with 180, and I said screw it. I went to 220 on the roof, and it's level. You can see a couple tiny ghosts of where the green is before it goes to the metal. Those are the highest points. You'll see a little bit more. Common for the stamping in here to do whoop-de-doos really bad, but I only have one little one right there and over there, but that's normal. I still got to do the blocking a little bit over there, but guess what? This thing here is going to block out perfectly flat. Hey everybody, today I want to give you a little quick tour of the paint booth. What we've been doing with Dan's 57 is we got the 2K on. It's hard to believe, long time coming. We're still not done. We only got the first coat on, and I still got to block the roof. That's been in 2K. I just got to verify that it's flat, and I got a couple little areas I still see, and hopefully after one more recoat they're going to vanish, and then I can put a sealer coat on it and then let it sit so we can go to final. And then we go to final, we reblock it again to verify it again, and if it's good, then we reseal it and then paint it. Heck of a process. Redundancy at its best, that's what I live for. Anyway, redundancy and quality is also another thing when you want to wait a little bit to get the level work. So let me turn this camera around and show you what we got cooking. Okay, I put the bed floor in, and I'm going to be putting the bracing in underneath this. You can't see it right now. We're going to be cutting it, fitting it. There's some other braces. I don't think I'm using those. We're going to put two long ways, one across there and one in the front, and I got a brace one across in the back here. That'll tighten this thing up, and then the perimeter of the bed is a lip where the height of the bed goes, and that's going to be welded down. We're going to be bolting down 6 areas on the bed floor to bolt this to the chassis. Real easy to do. And then there's our access door. I got to get hinges for that, but we'll be doing that. We'll get with Hank tomorrow. He's coming here tomorrow, and we're going to get busy on it. The tilt nose is giving me a little bit of a fit. It fits great. I moved the hinge forward. My alignment's good left and right. But what happens is the fiberglass is so damn flimsy when you try to lift up from here, it almost wants to crack my work. So I don't want that to happen. So I'm putting a plate in on the hinges down low. We're going to be putting a stick of plate, and that, in other words, when I lift this side with this hinge, it's going to force that side to come up. So that's going to ease this from cracking. That's a bad thing with these glass hoods. They love to crack on me, and this thing's done it twice. This hood is about 15 years old. So anyway, that's where I'm at. And then I'm going to put a flip forward stop, and then we're going to get rid of this. This is just mocked up here so I can tilt it forward and verify it goes into the holes here. And then we have these nice little doohickeys. They screw in from the bottom. They go right into here. And then we have a little cable that goes down and pin. Then we have a little cable that comes down and pins right here, so this doesn't fall out. Pretty cool. Thank you very much, Dan, for making all that good stuff. That was really kick butt. So anyway, I'm very thankful I have a fabricator with me that can get me out of a couple jams and do some nice work when I'm very busy rolling 7 cars. The goal of this truck right now is to get the final stuff done. It's going back, it's getting gutted right now, and after I'm done doing a couple little things here and there under the dash, get the doors on, open and close really nice, finish this bed floor, we're going to body and paint this thing ASAP. The vehicle to follow up behind this will be possibly Glenn's or Dan's, but everything's going to get shot. We got 3 or 4 vehicles we're going to shoot this year and get them over the curb. This one is a hot seat right now, so the blue 57 is going to have to wait a little bit. It just happens that way, and that's the way it goes. All right, so that's what we have with this one. Not a mixed cup, but a coffee cup. Follow me. Alrighty. It's untaped. I removed all of it. It took a beating. The car did great. No anything anywhere. Everything's really nice and pretty inside. The roof is ready to go, man. I'm happy with it. It took a lot to get there, but I got it. And I'm just gonna ride around and just show you guys. It's a little noisy in here because of the fans, but good circulation is always a good thing. There it is. That's the roof. You can probably almost see in the satiny reflection, but I've already wetted it down and verified it. It's really nice. It can be black and it'll look really good. Okay. Next up is the quarter panels. Let me see if I can balance the sucker out. Okay. Untaped. Made sure all the holes are in. I'm going to show you something about the body work we do. We work up to the highest point. So in other words, we don't just keep adding material. If you look real closely at all the holes, there's no material. Very little material. Mils of material. And it took how many cycles? You know, that what I'm getting at with this is I work to the high points in the panel. I block most of this stuff off, and you just keep applying until it settles down. Now I was starting to chase my tail on this because on the 6th go around blocking this sucker, I kept getting changes in the panel, and you're getting changes in the panel because it's up to 90% humidity in here. and come in the next day and it's really doing the funky monkey. Well, we're going to let this thing settle out. It ain't going to move much more because we really chased it down. These areas were a little pain in the neck, but they always are, from the Dutchman to the top of the quarter. I radiused this today, so that looks really sexy. Real nice smooth finish now, all the way through. If you notice, we can touch the panel now because it's got kind of a sealer coat. I gotta show people how to do a sealer coat with primer. And it's a nice technique I learned from my paint rep. And boy, do I miss him. He threw the towel in. I'm gonna miss you, Keith. But we still have Brevard Paint with us, and I still have Keith as a very good friend, and he's helped me out over the years with any stupid questions I have so I don't make any silly mistakes. So this old girl here is unwrapped. It looks really good. Well, this car now goes to assembly. We're going to hang the doors tonight. I'm going to get the door bolts in. We got brand new bolts. Hang those tonight, and then the next step will be the fenders, the hood, put the whole car together. Then I got to drill a bunch of holes in the doors so I can put the stainless into the doors that Dan got. Don't have them. Then I got to file them into the door because we're putting the moldings on there. That's the updates on this old girl. I will show you the blue car. Here's Project LS. Okay. This is Project LS. It's been wrapped up. Lee wrapped it up the other week. And I'm blocking it out. The tops look really good. The bottoms, I'm not quite there yet on blocking. I'm probably going to need another layer. This car profiles out like the black car I have. It's not profiling out like Dan's car. Dan's car is more symmetrical than Project LS, but that's only because the quarter panels, when they laid them on the car, this one sits a little bit flatter than the driver's side. The driver's side's got more of a curve in it, so that one sits kind of like that. And the driver one sits a little bit more curved, and it's over the wheel lip. If you just looked at the car left and right, you can't see it. It's when you put our little gauge on here. And when I put the gauge on there, you can see the gap. It rides high. So that's what we got going on. Because the other side, the passenger side in the same area, doesn't ride high. Hey everybody, that's the updates in the shop with Dan's car, Project LS, and Hank's. And also seeing some older clips from previous weeks. So we will be filming this weekend. I will try and get that one up ASAP. So we're going to have a gaggle of people here working. It's going to be a fun time. So same as usual, a lot of work. But the updates on this one, at least now, we're at a point where we can just assemble it, mock it up, do all little things, and get it ready for paint. This one here, for the most part, is 80% to the good. We just want to do a re-verify in 2 months or 3 months on blocking the car again. And then if it levels out really good on that block, we'll only reseal the car and then shoot it. That'll be it. But that's what we do. We do preliminary bodywork, flatten the car, make sure everything is right. Then we let the bodywork sit, let it all die back, let it all do what it needs to do with the humidity and temperature changes in some time. And then we go back, re-block it all, verify it's flat, reseal it, and then base coat clear it and get Lee in to do his finale, which is polish up any of the areas that we need. And most part, we usually just do a light polish anymore. We have a good system going now, and Lee's very good at what he does as well in terms of tightening everything up with the panels, because they're all painted individually. So when he's done, it's just one piece of mirror all the way down the car. Pretty good. Thank you all for tuning in again and subscribing, liking the channel, and we will see you all very soon in the next vlog. Take care. That's a racer. He's sunning himself. He must have got his grub on. That's the second one I found today. He's a cutie.